Are you coming out of a toxic or narcissistic relationship and you feel like you've lost yourself? You feel like an empty shell. And this is something that happens gradually, right? Because you're giving so much to someone who is not appreciative of what you're giving, and you're pouring out, and you're not keeping anything for yourself. And then you get out of this terrible relationship and you're like, who am I? How do I get back to me? How do I start enjoying life again? How do I start loving myself again? Well, stick around, because in this episode, I am going to help you with that. I'm going to teach you how to start loving yourself again after a toxic or narcissistic relationship. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Naila Abdul. I'm a mental health therapist turned toxic relationship coach. And after overcoming my own personal experiences with toxic and narcissistic relationships, I now work with women like you, helping you to heal, to rebuild yourself after these types of relationships. And most importantly, I teach you the tools to guarantee that you don't end up stuck in another relationship like this again. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, stick around for this video. Let's get into it. The first step that you can take to start loving yourself after a toxic or narcissistic relationship is reconnecting to God. And I'm saying reconnect with the assumption that maybe you already had a previous connection to God. And if not, that's okay. I can walk you through it. In order to connect with God, you first want to immerse yourself in Him. You want to start surrounding yourself. So the first thing that you can start doing is, I find the Bible app a very convenient app, because buying a Bible, sometimes you don't know which version to buy. You buy the wrong version, you don't understand what it's saying, and then it discourages you from reading it. So the Bible app allows you to select different versions very easily on your phone. Go to your app store and type in Bible app and it will pop up. I think it's called YouVersion or YouVision, something like that. I'll put the app down in the description box below, but go ahead and get that app and just start looking up. They have the Bible there, but they also have plans that you can study. So like Bible lessons, right? And there are people that they write little articles, very short. It's very convenient. They can send you little reminders if you want to, but they send you little articles to start, educating you on different topics, and then they relate it back to the Bible, to different scriptures. Okay, so that applies to someone who has had a connection with God before, or if you haven't, but this will allow you to start getting back into the Word. And the reason for that is because we have to remember, and I know we live in a world where we're not supposed to talk too much about God, but if you're on my channel, if you're in my space, He is my creator. He is your creator. For those of you who don't want to believe it or do believe it, whatever it is, I believe He is our creator, and we need Him to start reminding us that we belong to Him, that we are His children. Listen, when we're in toxic and narcissistic relationships, these people gradually chip away at your self-esteem, at your self-worth. It doesn't happen overnight. It's very subtle. It's very gradual. And we need to remember that we were created by Him. There is no man, really no human, not just man as in male, but no human that can take that away from you. Okay, so get connected to Him. And the more that we read His Word, the more that we surround ourselves with other people who are speaking about God, who are speaking the Word, the more He gets to talk to us, the more we get to hear Him. Let me give you a tip, and this is something I learned as I became an adult, which was a while ago, but later on in my adulthood, let me say that. The more I immerse myself in the Word, the more I can hear Him. And not only that, a lot of times I was hearing Him, but I thought it was just me. I thought it was just my thoughts. No, it is God speaking to us. Okay? And it doesn't always have to make sense. It doesn't have to be something that you can articulate to other people. But when you were getting messages into your mind, when you were getting thoughts that's starting to feel right, starting to make sense, that is God talking to you. But we can't hear Him if we're not connecting to Him, right? It's like your phone. Your phone is not going to charge because you pick up the phone and say, phone, charge. No, you have to plug it up. Right, you have to plug the plug into the phone, and then you have to plug it into the wall, right, for it to charge. That is the same thing with us. We have to be plugged into God, which means we have to make sure our surroundings are godly, make sure that our conversations are healthy. We're surrounding ourselves with the right people, and we're reading His Word, even if it's 5 minutes, starting on 5 minutes, because I do believe the enemy makes it very hard for us to stay focused on the Word. Right? We feel discouraged. Sometimes I'm on my phone and I'm looking through social media and I say, let me go read the Bible. And everything in me is saying, Not right now. Now you feel tired. Now your eyes hurt. You don't feel like reading. I say, look at that. Look at that. If I had to go read some foolishness, I have the energy for that, right? But when it comes to the word, right, the enemy starts to try to distract you. Fight through it. Fight through it. Think to yourself, there's a reason I don't feel like reading the word right now. So I'm going to push through it and read it. So that is the first point to trying to love yourself, starting to love yourself again after a toxic or narcissistic relationship. You don't need to go through this alone, okay? Tap into God. He is our source, right? And then he will connect you with other resources, like this video, for example, right? Different types of services and opportunities out there. Those are the resources, but God is the ultimate source. So tap into him first in order to start loving yourself after a toxic or narcissistic relationship. The next thing that I want you to do in order to start loving yourself again after a toxic or narcissistic relationship is get a nice journal. Find a nice, pretty journal, whatever you consider pretty, something that you would be enthusiastic to write, and get yourself a good writing pen and start journaling. Now, wait a minute. I know this sounds cliche, right? Even as a mental health therapist, I often recommend it to my clients, oh, journal. And I know journaling helps because studies show that. But it wasn't until years later, until I went through maybe 8 years of already working in the mental health field, that I went through my own breakup from a toxic and narcissistic relationship, that I myself finally started to journal. And it changed my life. Why? Because as human beings, we need to see things visually. Right? Because our minds play tricks on us. We can know something intellectually. We can know that we're a good person. We can know that we've done great things. We can know that we are loving and caring and have helped other people, right? But then those doubtful thoughts come in, right? And when we are exposing ourselves to destructive people with narcissistic traits, toxic traits, they gradually, subtly plant seeds of negativity into our thoughts, right? They start to make us feel like we're not good enough. So even though we know the truth, their negative messages start to override the truth that we know, right? So even though we know something, sometimes it helps to have it written down on paper, right? Because pen and paper can't lie, right? Once it's there in front of you, it's there in front of you. Sometimes we need that to refer back to. So I want you to get a journal, I want you to get a pen, and I want you to start writing down all the good qualities about yourself. Now, I know that might be a bit hard because we live in a world where it says, oh, that's too boastful, that's too arrogant to talk well about yourself. You need to be modest. Lies, lies, lies. If we can compliment other people, if we can support other people and motivate other people and nurture other people, we can do the same to ourselves. There is nothing wrong with that. So I want you to write down all the good qualities about yourself, right? Things that you know about yourself. And if that's hard to think about in this space that you're in right now, if you're in a really negative space, think about compliments other people have given you. Okay? Your friends, your family, and even if not right now, in the past, right? Maybe your employer. Think about that. Think about ways that you have been a blessing to other people. How have you helped other people? How have people come back to you and say, you know what, that was so helpful. I'm so glad you did that for me. I'm so glad you helped me with that. Or I'm so glad you talked me out of that or talked me into that. Start to think about that. And again, it may be challenging, but set aside some time for yourself. This is part of healing. This is part of rebuilding yourself. Set aside some time for that, so that you can dedicate yourself to really thinking about that and putting it on paper. And the moment you feel too modest to say it, push through it. Write it down. Okay? Start thinking about the things that you have accomplished, right? Not that we are identified by all of our accomplishments, but it means that we have some resilience, we have some intelligence, we have some success, right? So write down the things that you have done that will make you feel better about yourself, and remind yourself that you are worthy of love, right? You have great things, great qualities about you. You have been a blessing to other people, right? Write that down and refer back to it every day if you need to. The next step that you can take to start loving yourself again after a toxic or narcissistic relationship is to remember what is your purpose. And if you didn't know it before, start figuring it out. This is how you do that. You think about, where do I want to be in the next 5 to 10 years? And that can be in different categories, in relationships, finances, location. And when I say relationships, not just romantic relationships, but relationship with your children if you have children, your family, friends, if you want to build new friends, just think about the overall life that you want. And that also may be challenging for some of us because we are so conditioned to have a limited mindset. We don't think about what we want, right? At the biggest that it can be. We think about, but what can I actually get, right? I may not be able to get that, so I'll just settle for this. No, think big. Think big and think in 5 to 10 years, okay, where would I like to see myself? The reason for that is we feel good about ourselves when we feel like we have a purpose. That is the difference between just existing and thriving. Existing is just, I'm just going about my routine, making money, or going to work by making money by going to work, or however you make money, and paying my bills and just doing your regular routine. But what is your purpose here? How are you serving your purpose? We are all here with a purpose. So I want you to think about that, because when we have something that we are working towards, we don't just feel like we're just going through the motions, right? Like on a hamster wheel. A hamster on a hamster wheel. He's just rolling. He's moving, right? The wheel is going, but he's not going anywhere. Right? And sometimes we can fall into that rut and we don't realize why do I feel so down? Why do I feel so depressed? Or why do I feel unmotivated? Or sometimes we think that in order to feel better, we need to buy something, or we need to be able to impress other people. But that is all superficial. I believe that's a main reason why there's so much depression out here, because we are seeking superficial things to make us feel fulfilled. No, we need to dig deeper. You need to find a purpose. And then you want to start working towards that purpose. Plan out some long-term goals, right? And this doesn't have to be tonight, okay? This can be gradual, right? But just start thinking about these things and use that same journal, that same pen, right? And start writing these thoughts out. And you can change it as it goes, right? This is not school. You're not going to get graded. It doesn't have to be, written in stone. You can tweak it, but start thinking about, what do I want to see for myself? What do I want to start working towards? What's going to make me feel fulfilled, right? These are the things we need to do in order to start loving ourselves again, so we can feel like we have something to work towards. We are not just existing, we are here to thrive. The fourth thing that I encourage you to do to start loving yourself again after a toxic or narcissistic relationship is schedule in things that you like to do. Okay? And yes, I said schedule. I'm not just going to say do things that you like to do. No, I want you to schedule it. Schedule it, because we live busy lives and we can often forget or just choose to neglect ourselves, choose to neglect things that we like to do, right? So whether it's something that you like to do in the past, or something new that you want to try, or maybe you never thought of, but it came to you and you said, let me just try it. Start to do that, because again, we are here to enjoy life. We are here to enjoy what the world has to offer, okay? So try not to get so stuck in, the regular routine of things. And this may be challenging because, again, the abuse of a toxic or narcissistic person is to gradually chip away at who you are. So you feel empty. Sometimes you may not even feel like, I don't even know what I want to do. So then just pick up and do something, okay? But luckily, we have a computer in our hand, which is our phone. We can Google anything. We can look up anything, but do something. Schedule in time to do something fun, okay? And you want to start reminding yourself verbally, and in that same notebook, that same journal, right? You want to write it down. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have fun. I deserve to laugh. I deserve to have the best. Okay, you need to remind yourself of that. These are the mindsets. So what you're doing is you're reprogramming the way that you're thinking, right? You have been taught subliminally by this destructive person that you don't deserve good things, that you don't deserve to have fun, that you're just supposed to pour into others and be a supply for other people. And it might feel selfish now to start doing these fun things and doing things for yourself, but you have to counteract that. You have to change that mindset. And the way to change our mindset is with immersion and repetition. Immerse ourselves in a new way of thinking. Immerse ourselves in being in a community around people that are thinking in the new way that we want to think, right? Reading things that is going to shift the way that we think, that's going to talk to the way that the person that we want to be, not who we are now, but the person we want to be. You need to immerse yourself in that, right? And then repetition. That's why journaling works so well. It's because you are immersing yourself by seeing these words over and over, repeating it to yourself, right? That's the repetition to change that mindset. But scheduling things fun things, things that bring joy to you or maybe bring relaxation to you, but make sure you schedule it in, okay, so you don't forget to do it, and continue to give yourself permission to have fun, to laugh, to enjoy life, and that you deserve the best. If you want to learn more about how to start loving yourself after a toxic and narcissistic relationship, you're coming out of it, and you want to start rebuilding yourself, I highly encourage you to join my program, the Relationship Detox. This is where you are going to learn everything that you need to start healing, start rebuilding yourself again, the mindset shifts that you need to make. And if you know me by now, if you've seen some of my videos already, you know I'm not just about talking about the toxic person or the narcissist, but I'm also focused on you, on how to figure you out, how to make sure that you don't end up in a situation like that again. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, I would love to meet you. Meet me in the Relationship Detox. The link is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If this was helpful for you, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and make sure to share this video with someone that you think might benefit from this information. I'll see you in the next one.